B13. There comes a time in life when noise is all around us. Voices trying to shape us, doubts creeping in, emotions pulling us in every direction. And yet, something inside still whispers, there's more. What if the strength you're chasing outside has been buried deep within you all along? What if confidence, peace, and control are not something to be found, but something to be remembered, something you were born with but forgot along the way? When was the last time you looked in the mirror and felt truly grounded, not because of what others think of you, but because you know who you are? Not just pretending to be strong, but being strong without noise. The world trains us to react, but the Stoic lives differently. The Stoic responds, not from emotion, but from reason, clarity, and self-respect. In a world constantly trying to shake us, how do we stay calm and unshaken? Think of this. Have you ever spilled your coffee in the morning and suddenly your whole day feels ruined? That's not the coffee. That's not the morning. That's the lack of control inside. Stoicism teaches us that we must never hand over our peace to the world. The fire within us must burn quietly, not wildly. Controlled fire, directed fire. That's where true power lives. Welcome to Book Boost, a place where we don't just talk motivation, we break it down. This isn't just another video to scroll through. It's a moment of awakening. If this message already speaks to a small part of you, pause. Drop your one true thought about believe in yourself down in the comments. We read them. We grow through them. Like, comment, share this message with someone who needs it. And most of all, subscribe, because what comes next may be what you've needed for years. This is more than ancient words. It's a way of living. Stoicism, shaped by the minds of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, isn't about shutting off your emotions. It's about owning them. They taught that everything we fear, failure, pain, rejection, is temporary. But our reaction can last forever. We don't control the world, but we do control how we rise to meet it. This year, 2025, can either control you or be commanded by you. The difference? Your mindset, your discipline, your calm. Through Stoicism, we learn to be still while the world spins, to stand tall even when things fall apart, and to carry peace in places that used to bring chaos. The time has come to remember the fire inside you. Let's begin. There is one battle that never ends, one that follows us into every room, every conversation, every decision. It is the silent fight between what we feel and what we do. Emotions are not our enemy, but they are wild if left unchecked. And without discipline, they will rule us like a storm rules a broken ship. That is why the Stoic does not aim to erase emotions, but to understand them, to observe them without panic, and to act with reason, not reaction. From the moment we wake up, the world begins to test us. A message we didn't expect. A person who says something careless. Plans that fall apart. It is easy, almost natural, to react with anger, sadness, fear, or frustration. But the Stoic stops, takes a breath, steps back, and remembers, not everything that touches me must control me. Discipline begins the moment we refuse to be dragged by our emotions. It begins the moment we learn to notice without losing ourselves. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That power is the foundation of inner peace. And yet, most people hand that power away the moment something goes wrong. The Stoic builds an inner fortress, not to hide from pain, but to meet it face to face. Anger comes, and we ask, is this useful? Will it improve anything? Or will it just burn me from the inside? Fear rises, and we ask, is the danger real, or is it only in my thoughts? Sadness weighs heavy, and still, we ask, what is this teaching me? There is no shame in feeling. Emotions are part of being human. But what Stoicism teaches us is that we are not just humans reacting. We are humans capable of choosing. That choice is where our discipline begins. Epictetus said it clearly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic knows this, and so they practice, not once, not twice, but every day. Discipline of emotion is like training a wild horse. It doesn't happen in a single day. It takes patience. It takes falling and trying again. But each time you refuse to let a bad mood dictate your actions, you get stronger. Each time you stay calm when it would be easier to explode, your fortress grows taller. And one day, You'll look back and realize that the same things that once broke you now barely shake you. We live in a world that tells us to express everything, to vent, to shout, to react fast. But not everything needs a reaction. The Stoic listens more than they speak. They pause more than they push. And that's not weakness. That is real power. When others scream, the Stoic stays silent. When others blame, the Stoic reflects. When others fall apart, the Stoic endures. Not because they feel less, but because they understand more. You will face moments where your blood boils, where your chest feels heavy, where tears threaten to fall. That is okay. Let them come, but don't let them lead. Observe them like a wise guard watching the gate. You decide what enters. You decide what stays. You are not a slave to every emotion that passes through you. This way of life does not promise comfort. It promises clarity. And with that clarity comes a kind of quiet strength that cannot be faked. Think of how often you've said or done something in anger, and then regretted it later. Stoicism saves you from that. It saves you from yourself, from the spiral, from the voice that says, you're weak if you don't react. No, you're strong if you can hold your ground without letting your emotions destroy it. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." That's the truth. Discipline isn't forged in perfect conditions. It is born when things are hard, when the heart wants to scream and the mind wants to give up, and yet you breathe and stay still and hold on to reason like a lifeline. Over time, this becomes your nature. It's not about pretending to be calm. It's about becoming calm. It's not about hiding your pain. It's about not letting it define you. You start to notice the space between stimulus and response, and that space, that gap, becomes your home, your freedom, your strength. Let others waste their energy on every emotional wave. Let them burn out chasing control over the world. The Stoic learns to master the one thing that matters most, the self. This mastery isn't loud. It doesn't show off, but it's there, in your eyes, in your choices, in your stillness. So when the storm comes, and it will, you don't run. You don't panic. You stand. You breathe. You act, not react. Because you have trained for this. You have chosen this. You have built a fortress that no emotion can break without your permission. This is the discipline of emotion. This is how we rise above the chaos, not by removing what we feel, but by becoming greater than what we feel. Stoicism gives us that path. And now you walk it, step by step, day by day, breath by breath. Every day, we wake up and step into a world that doesn't slow down. Problems appear before breakfast. Doubts sneak in before our feet touch the ground. Someone says something rude. A plan falls apart. The weather turns bad. Delays, mistakes, pressures. And in these small moments, the real battle begins, not outside, but inside. A Stoic understands that daily life is the training ground. We don't wait for a peaceful place to find peace. We create it inside ourselves. And to do that, we must practice. Every single day, not once in a while, not only when things are easy. It must become part of who we are. A quiet strength that doesn't need to be seen to be real. True strength is not in lifting heavy things. It's in lifting ourselves when everything feels heavy. It's in saying no when your emotions scream yes. It's in holding your tongue when anger pushes you to speak. It's in showing up on days when motivation is gone. Strength is the invisible work we do when nobody's watching. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That means if our anger controls us, we are not strong. If fear controls us, we are not free. If we need approval to feel good, we are trapped. The Stoic path is not about pretending we don't feel things. It's about not being ruled by those feelings. We feel the fear, the sadness, the anxiety, but we do not bow to them. Look around you. Most people react. They yell when they're frustrated. They quit when things get hard. They blame the world for their pain. But the Stoic does not chase comfort. He chases clarity. He knows discomfort is not the enemy. In fact, it's often the teacher. Discipline is built in small decisions. You get up when it's easier to stay in bed. You finish your task when distractions tempt you. You control your reactions when others lose theirs. This is not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about doing what's right, not what's easy. There will be days when emotions are loud. Days when things don't go as planned. Days when you feel overlooked, unappreciated, tired. But even then, especially then, you must hold your ground. The Stoic does not let the noise of the world drown the silence of his soul. He returns to his center again and again. Imagine a sailor in the middle of a storm. He can't control the sea. He can't stop the wind. But he can steer. He can stay calm. He can choose not to panic. That's what Stoicism gives us. Not control over life, but control over how we move through it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Simple, clear, powerful. These are not just words. They are guiding principles. They remind us that our life is shaped not by what happens, but by how we respond. You may feel like you're not there yet. That's okay. Even the strongest Stoics stumbled in the beginning. The key is this: don't stop. Keep training your mind. Keep strengthening your will. Keep practicing patience. Keep choosing wisdom over impulse. What does this look like in daily life? It means not arguing just to win. It means helping someone even when you don't feel like it. It means being kind when others are not. It means doing your duties without needing applause. These are not grand acts. They are small acts of greatness repeated again and again. It's not about showing off. The Stoic doesn't brag. He doesn't need to prove himself to anyone. His proof is in how he lives. Calm, clear, unshaken. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How true that is. Most of our pain comes from how we think about things. A delay becomes a disaster in our minds. A mistake becomes a failure of our identity. But when we slow down, breathe, and look again, we see it's not so bad. We see that we can still choose how to carry ourselves. Every morning, remind yourself, today, I will meet people who are rude, selfish, ungrateful. But that is not a reason to become like them. I will stay kind. I will stay calm. I will stay firm. That is not weakness. That is true power. You don't need more things. You need more stillness. You don't need louder confidence. You need quieter clarity. You don't need to be tougher on others. You need to be stronger within yourself. In this path, you will lose things. You will lose the need to be liked, the need to always win, the need to always speak, the need to control others. But you will gain something far greater, the ability to endure. And from that endurance, you will transcend. Transcend what? Transcend the chaos, the noise, the lies your emotions whisper, the pressure to be someone you are not. You will walk through storms and not be broken. You will face setbacks and not be shaken, because the work you've done inside will carry you through. So, wake up each day and treat it like training. Don't wait for the world to calm down. Learn to be calm in the middle of it. Don't wait for the world to be fair. Be just even when others are not. Don't wait to feel ready. Start walking. You will become ready by walking. And when the day ends, reflect. Ask yourself, not, was I happy, but did I live with strength today? Did I stay true to my values? Did I hold my ground with grace? Did I meet the world like a Stoic should, present, patient, and powerful? This is the way forward. This is the work that changes you, not instantly, but deeply, not loudly, but permanently. It is a path few walk, but those who do carry peace, no matter where they go, because they've earned it inside. And so do we. There are moments in life when everything around you begins to spin. People argue. Plans break. Things fall apart. The world screams louder than ever, trying to shake your balance, your confidence, your peace. But in those exact moments, something powerful can happen. You can choose to stand like a rock. A rock doesn't move with the storm. It doesn't answer back to the wind. It doesn't panic when the rain pours. It just stands. Quiet, strong, steady. And this is exactly what a Stoic does. He does not become cold. He becomes calm. He doesn't harden out of anger. He holds firm out of clarity. The chaos outside never reaches the silence inside. Life will not ask for your permission to be difficult. It will not tell you when it's going to test you. You might wake up with good intentions, and before noon, someone says something that pierces you. A friend betrays you. A deal breaks. The truth is, life owes you nothing. But the Stoic owes it to himself to remain still, wise, and in control. When someone insults you, most people react. They scream back. They defend. They try to hurt in return. But a Stoic pauses. He understands that another person's behavior is a reflection of them, not of him. If someone throws mud, you don't have to catch it. If someone spits fire, you don't have to burn. You can walk through it untouched, not because you're emotionless, but because you've mastered your emotions. Seneca once wrote, "If you know how to live, You avoid being blown around by every wind. And this is the way of the Stoic. He doesn't let small things control his big spirit. He doesn't let temporary problems steal permanent peace. His silence is not weakness. It's wisdom. But don't misunderstand. Standing like a rock doesn't mean you let people walk over you. It doesn't mean you stay silent when injustice is done. It means you speak with power, not panic. You act with purpose, not impulse. You move when it's time, not because the world pushes you, but because you decide. In a noisy world, true strength looks like stillness. While others chase approval, you anchor yourself in values. While others try to win arguments, you protect your energy. While others fall into fear, you remember your reason. Stoicism isn't about avoiding pain. It's about enduring it with grace. And not just surviving it, but using it to grow stronger. Think of the ancient Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. Every day, he faced war, sickness, betrayal, and stress beyond what most of us will ever experience. Yet he wrote, "Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands, unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it." He didn't just write those words to sound wise. He lived them. And we can too. The modern world doesn't make it easy. Every screen flashes with drama. Every conversation pulls us into judgment, comparison, fear. You scroll once and feel less than others. You open your inbox and feel overwhelmed. You try to explain yourself again and again until you're tired of speaking. But this is when the Stoic path becomes clearer. You begin to understand that your peace is your responsibility, and nothing can take it away unless you hand it over. A Stoic doesn't run from the fire. He learns how to walk through it without burning. He doesn't control the world, but he controls how deeply the world enters him. The insults don't stay. The problems don't settle in his mind. The fears knock, but he doesn't open the door. This is not denial. This is discipline. When you learn to stay calm while others lose their heads, people may call you strange. When you don't gossip, they may think you're distant. When you stop complaining, they may say you're too quiet. But you will know the truth. You're building something they can't see. A spirit that doesn't break. A heart that doesn't give up. A mind that refuses to surrender to noise. You may not be perfect. You may stumble. You may get angry. You may feel hurt. But even then, you return to yourself. You return to your reason. You return to your principles. You breathe. You observe. You respond slowly. This is what makes you different. Not that you avoid pain, but that pain cannot control you. Even in relationships, this power holds value. You learn to listen without needing to win. You speak without needing to dominate. You stay when others leave. You love without losing yourself. Because standing like a rock also means loving with strength, not desperation. Over time, people will notice. They'll wonder why you don't get pulled into gossip, why you don't chase approval, why you don't react like everyone else. And maybe they'll ask, or maybe they'll never understand. But it doesn't matter, because you are not here to prove anything. You are here to live with meaning, calm, and courage. The Stoic doesn't try to change the weather. He builds shelter inside his mind. He doesn't complain about the path. He strengthens his steps. And when the world shouts, he becomes even more quiet, not out of fear, but because he knows silence holds more power than noise. So today, if things are loud, go silent. If people try to provoke you, stay still. If you feel your emotions rising, breathe deeper. Because that one pause can be the moment you rise. That one still breath can separate who you were from who you're becoming. The rock doesn't rise to fight the wave. It endures it. And after the wave is gone, the rock is still there. So stand, like a rock,